What's up, Internet world? Matthew here. I'm on the beautiful North Shore of Long Island, right here in Oyster Bay, at the Oyster Bay waterfront. I got lovely Center Island right there behind me. I'm actually kind of right by one of the docks right now, trying to hide from the wind. I'm really excited to be able to bring you guys a vlog out here today. It's been the first day in a couple of weeks it's been above freezing, not by much, but Mercury's a little higher than it's been, so I'm excited. I'm excited to bring you guys this vlog. I've been alluding to this for the last couple of weeks, that I've discovered something amazing in the format of the Monomyth that I think could really, hopefully, positively impact your life. See, I'm sometimes asked, Matthew, if nothing matters, then why do you work so hard to be a good man? And why do you identify with such noble archetypes like Captain America or Superman, instead of with more morally free characters like the Punisher or Rick Sanchez? And my response is twofold and seemingly contradictory. Because complete freedom is a delusion that I gave up on, and because it's fun. See, once you start to uproot your base programming and make a habit of questioning the preconceptions that you were given by those who programmed your unconscious mind, you start to get a picture of who you actually are. Now, this image will get clearer over time, and as it does, you have to be cautious of the tendency to make yourself into something that you are not. Remembering the words of Dr. Mercer Peer, I have to tell you, you are enough as you are. You don't need to think of yourself as more or less important, because your developing self-image isn't as morally free or as noble or whatever as you think it needs to be. That's not to say that you don't need to improve yourself, but there's a limit on how much you actually need to change about yourself. We all serve a role in the natural world. To our great Earth Mother, a mouse is no more or less important a creature than a lion. We're all a slice of the divine learning about itself. As Bill Hicks said, we're all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. We're the imagination of ourselves. See, I'm naturally compelled to care about people and to try to help them live better lives. To be honest, I care more than I would like to most of the time. But it would take far too much effort to try to quit doing something that I could just as easily learn to enjoy and benefit from. All the while, however, I have absolutely zero illusions about the fact that everything I do for someone else, I really do for myself. And that's the application of the admonition of Thich Nhat Hanh and Khalil Gibran that I spoke of in my blogs Activation Energy and the Nature of Nature. Now, speaking practically, did you know that our brains are literally hardwired for bad news? Now, thousands of years ago, it made sense. There was the kind of thinking that kept our ancestors keen to the environment and safe from danger. But now it does more to hold us back. It keeps us in a negativistic, fear-based state. For most of my existence, I thought that in order to succeed in life, I had to fight off a cruel and beastly world and conquer it. Because my family's religion programmed me to never look within, but to only obey what God told us to do like a drone, I had ignored what was going on inside myself. Consequently, the inhabitants of my shadow world escaped. And I was left with the burden of making it right and saving the world from the demons who just so happened to show up everywhere I looked. This was, of course, because I was projecting those aberrations onto the real world. Now, don't misunderstand me. There is a war to be fought. The world is a mess, and there are demons. But they're only there because we expect them to be. If we want to see a better world, then we'd better work to create one. Our minds are powerful enough to manifest our expectations, so we have to perceive the world that we want to see if anything is going to actually change. And this is the greatest gift that I acquired on my journey. The realization that reality was what I perceived it to be. After that, I soon realized the world didn't need saving, or at least not by me. The only one who really needs saving is myself. And the only one who can really save me is, you guessed it, me. The gods may bring me aid at just the right time, of course, but I'm the one who has to put in all the work. Now, at first, this wasn't easy to accept. I'd grown up waiting for someone to do something for me, waiting for a God to come down and wipe the world clean of wickedness. But the longer I spent out of the cave, the better my eyes were adjusted to reality, and then the further out that I could see. And then, much like the Mayan calendar, which was comprised of small cycles of time that were fitting within larger cycles that all interlocked together, I noticed that as you walk the hero's journey, we often cross over our own footsteps. And sometimes in small cycles, sometimes in larger cycles. And at first it might seem like you're just going in pointless, repetitive circles. But the further out you look, the more you start to see that all these tracks play together, and that life is, as Alan Watts said, a beautiful dance. We're not really looking for a specific destination, but you see these gorgeous curls playing out across time, and you're the one playing them. People have too many expectations of what they think life has to be. You know, you don't play video games to just walk around boards and go in and out of empty rooms where nothing happens, so why would you think life has to be anything like that? The hero's journey is going to involve work, and all of it, the pain, the tearing apart of the self, the turmoil, the battles internal and external, it all lends itself to what makes the hero's journey and life itself such a grand, beautiful, and fun adventure. And something you could feel blessed to be a part of. And then the more gratitude you have, the more things you find to be grateful for. And that becomes a cycle that feeds itself outward and upward, and that propels you forward. By this point, I've been through so many of these cycles of the hero's journey that I'm starting to get used to little twists and turns that life can take. Now I just dance. Every inspiring video I post, every encouraging meme I share, every one of the little touching human moments that I create between myself and a friend or a client or a stranger, I do it because it brings me a greater sense of happiness and joy. And that further reinforces my perception that life is pretty friggin' fantastic. And that's the war I fight now. Not a direct conflict of this side versus that, or of good versus evil, but of perceptions, all perceptions, including my own. Hell, I'm always willing to shake things up for myself. And I will state for the record that I have no intention of dragging anyone out of the darkness of their own cave. I just intend to make the darkness around me brighter. And social media is a place where people spend a huge portion of their day. So to me, that's a battleground. People share bad news all the time, so I personally make it a point to share posts that are touching, inspiring, or humorous. You know, whatever shifts the mood away from the usual negativistic crapfest. I even created a hashtag, at least I think I did, that I use every time I share something that points out the best that humanity has to offer, and you can use it too. This is how you human. Pretty catchy, right? I know another YouTuber, Christina Lauren. She has a similar message to mine, and she is as bright and fun as I am blunt and sarcastic. And she uses the hashtag randomly kind. So you can go ahead and add that to the fray. You know what? Make it a happiness firefight. There's another one. Using hashtags like that when you share positive posts doesn't just make such things more easily searchable, it adds a connotation to your posts, namely that kind behavior is the standard for what makes us human and not the exception. Look, if you want to see a better world, then you have to fight for it. You don't fight a political party or a religion or an ideology. You have to fight the fear-based programming that would otherwise control your life. Question the notions that you were brought up to blindly accept. Fight common sense. Find magic in the mundane. Learn something new. Experience something new, and be grateful that you're here on this planet at a time of tumultuous change. Share the best that humanity has to offer with everyone you meet. You can change your world by focusing on what you want to see, and the more you share that perception, the more it's seen and absorbed, even unconsciously. You do it enough and Well, you've heard of the term critical mass. It's not going to be easy, but it's up to you to make the familiar world of fear and despair unfamiliar, and to make the unfamiliar world of hope and joy familiar to everyone. It's not going to be easy, but that's exactly what the monomyth, and indeed what life itself, is really all about. Well, this is as far as thought and philosophy is going to get us. So that's the end of this series. Everything that I've spoken about up until now has been to help you to make the choice to cross the threshold from your familiar old world of limitations to a new unfamiliar world of possibility. If you choose to go forward from here, it will require more than just altered perceptions. It's going to require action. So I'm going to take a break from vlogging this heavy stuff for a while. Don't know how long, couple weeks, couple months, but I will continue to bring you great content on this channel. I'm going to try to focus more on some workout videos for now, health and nutrition, all the other great stuff that I could bring you. Interviews, time spent out in nature, time spent with my beautiful daughter, whatever I could do to shift the mood. So, again, I want to thank you for listening to my words in whatever format you found them. I hope the raw truth and vulnerability of my experience has helped you along in your journey. And I hope you stick around for more. It's a long road ahead for all of us, and I hope to walk it with you. From beautiful and snowbound Long Island, I want to wish you all peace, love, and protein pancakes. I will talk to you soon.